What's up, buddies? And buddy girls. So, today I figured I would do some soft-spoken, since I haven't done it for a while. And I'm also going to be playing a different game. Well, I'm not playing it in this video, but I am reading the lore of champions from this game. I figured it'd be a good time to start doing this because League of Legends is still a pretty popular game, and there are, I think the World Championships for League are coming up soon. I think at the end of this month, going into October. So, what better time to do this than now? So we're gonna go in alphabetical order. First, we're gonna do Aatrox. Aatrox is a legendary warrior, one of only 5 that remain of an ancient race known as the Darken. He wields his massive blade with grace and poise, slicing through legions in a style that is hypnotic to behold. With each foe felled, Aatrox's seemingly living blade drinks in their blood, empowering him and fueling his brutal, elegant campaign of slaughter. The earliest tale of Aatrox is as old as recorded history. It tells of a war between 2 great factions, remembered only as the Protectorate and the Mage Lords. Over time, the Mage Lords won a series of crushing victories, leaving them on the brink of obliterating their sworn enemy forever. On the day of their final confrontation, the Protectorate army found themselves outnumbered, exhausted, and poorly equipped. They braced for inevitable defeat. Just when all hope seemed lost, Aatrox appeared among the ranks of Protectorate. With but a few words, he urged the soldiers to fight to the last before throwing himself into battle. His presence inspired the desperate warriors. At first, they could only watch in awe as this unknown hero cleaved through their enemies, his blood and blade moving in unison, as if one being. Soon, the warriors found themselves imbued with a potent thirst for battle. They followed Aatrox into the fray, each fighting with the furious strength of 10, until they had won a most unlikely victory. Aatrox vanished after that battle, but the Protectorate army's newfound fury did not. Their surprising triumph led to many more, until they were able to finally return home victorious. Their countrymen hailed them as heroes, but though they had saved their entire civilization from destruction, darkness lingered In the mind of each warrior, something within them had changed. Over time, their memories of battle faded, only to be replaced with a grim revelation. Their acts of heroism were, in fact, brutal atrocities committed by their own hands. Tales like these appear among the myths of many cultures. If they are all to be believed, Aatrox's presence has changed the course of some of the most important wars in history. Though these stories remember him as a savior in dark times, Aatrox's true legacy may be a world filled with conflict and strife. Some fight for honor, some fight for glory. It matters only that you fight. Aatrox. Our next champion is Ahri. Unlike other foxes that roamed the woods of southern Ionia, Ahri had always felt a strange connection to the magical world around her. A connection that was somehow incomplete. Deep inside, she felt the skin she had been born into was an ill fit for her, was an ill fit for her, and dreamt of one day becoming human. Her goal seemed forever out of reach, until she happened upon the wake of a human battle. It was a grisly scene, the land obscured by the forms of wounded and dying soldiers. She felt drawn to one, a robed man, encircled by a waning field of magic. His life quickly slipping away. She approached him, and something deep inside of her triggered, reaching out to the man in a way she couldn't understand. His life essence poured into her, carried on invisible strands of magic. The sensation was intoxicating and overwhelming. As her reverie faded, she was delighted to discover that she had changed. Her sleek white fur had receded, and her body was long and the shape of the humans who lay scattered about her. However, though she appeared human, she knew that in truth the transformation was incomplete. A cunning creature, she adapted herself to the customs of human society and used her profound gift of beauty to attract unsuspecting men. She could consume their life essences when they were under the spell of her seductive charms. Feeding on their desires brought her closer to her dream. But as she took more lives, a strange sense of regret began to well within her. She had reservations about actions which never troubled her as a fox. She realized that she could not overcome the pangs of her evolving morality. In search of a solution, Ahri found the Institute of War, home of the most gifted mages on Runeterra. They offered her a chance to attain her humanity without further harm through service in the League of Legends. Mercy is a human luxury and responsibility. Ahri. Our next champion is Akali. There exists an ancient order originating in the Ionian Isles dedicated to the preservation of balance, order, chaos, light, darkness. All things must exist in perfect harmony, for such is the way of the universe. This order is known as the Kinko, and it employs a triumvirate of shadow warriors to uphold its causes in the world. Akali is one of these shadow warriors, entrusted with the sacred duty of pruning the tree, eliminating those who threaten the equilibrium of Valoran. The prodigal martial artist, Akali began training with her mother as soon as she could make a fist. Her mother's discipline was relentless and unforgiving, but predicated on the fundamental principle: we do that which must be done. When the Kinko inducted her into the order at the age of 14, she could slice a dangling chain with the chop of her hand. There was no question she would succeed her mother as the Fist of Shadow. She has had to do much in this role, which others might find morally questionable. But to her, it is in service of her mother's inviolable doctrine. She now works with her fellows Shen and Kennen to enforce the balance of Valoran. This hallowed pursuit has unsurprisingly led the triumvirate to the fields of justice. The Fist of Shadow strikes from the cover of death itself. Do not impede the balance